There's a classic story of Beatles legend John Lennon. He's a schoolboy in Liverpool, and he has an assignment in one of his classes. And the teacher is asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" So all the students are very excited about what they're going to be sharing. Some want to be firemen, some want to be policemen, some want to be astronauts, others want to be doctors and lawyers and teachers. And so the day comes when each one of the students needs to share what their answer is. And after a number of students go, it's finally little John's turn, and he stands up in front of the room, and the teacher asks, "Well, John, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And he says, "Happy." Well, the teacher isn't very amused by it. In fact, as the legend goes, he actually gets sent to the principal's office. But he wouldn't budge. He wouldn't change his answer, because what he really knew inside of himself is he wanted to just be happy. And what he was really saying is that so much of our life, in terms of what we achieve on the outside, although it may be important, it isn't as important as what we achieve on the inside. Hi everyone, Chris Natzke here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your Mind of a Champion tip of the week. What do we achieve on the inside versus what we achieve on the outside? Hey, I'm not saying, that anything that we want to do on the outside in the outside world is not important. My gosh, I have plenty of goals that I have set up for 2023, and plenty of goals that I've achieved in the past, and plenty of goals that I've fallen short on. And they excite me, and they keep me focused, and they serve people when I can achieve those goals, as well as serve myself. But there's this wonderful book called From Me to We by two brothers named Mark and John Kielberger. And what they say is they create this distinction between extrinsic goals and intrinsic goals. Extrinsic goals and intrinsic goals. And basically, an extrinsic goal is something you accomplish on the outside. The amount of money that you earn, maybe releasing of weight, maybe a certain business that you grow during that time frame. It's very tangible and it's very measurable in terms of what you create. The intrinsic goals are your state of being on the inside, your level of happiness, contentment, your excitement and enthusiasm for life. Those things on the inside that keep us going. And there's two things that were really interesting about this when I heard this. Is number one is, I think most of the time, the things we do, the extrinsic goals that we focus on, we do it because of what we want to achieve on the inside. That's why we're actually doing it. But the other thing that the authors pointed out is that when we get really clear on the intrinsic goals and we are successful in achieving those, most of the extrinsic goals will take care of themselves. Pretty interesting, isn't it? So the question then remains is, how are we able to navigate through this process? Which I think is really a balancing act, because between having healthy extrinsic goals and healthy intrinsic goals. So I've got 4 questions for you to ask yourself as you're looking to create these goals in your own life, and how you can usually, basically take some time and ponder these questions so you can get some more clarity in these areas. And the first one is, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? Now, I don't mean necessarily relaxed or just, lazy sitting around. What I mean is, how do you want to feel inside yourself? Do you want to feel excited for life? Do you want to feel enthusiastic? Do you want to feel like you're actually giving to others and making an impact? How do you want to feel? Because when you get really clear on that, now what's going to happen is you'll begin to see things in your life that you can do in order to help support that way of being, that way of feeling. How do you want to feel? Do you want to be happy like John Lennon? Do you want to feel like you're making an impact? Get clear on that, and pretty soon you're going to start seeing the opportunities where you can make that a reality in your life. So that's question number 1. Question number 2 is, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Very often during my speaking, I talk about this concept that most of us look at our lives from a perspective of have, do, be. When I have enough money, then I'll do the things I want to do and I'll be happy. We look at things again outside from the intrinsic standpoint. But what I found is when I'm at my best, and the people that I see that are really, really kicking it, they turn those words around. They look at life from a perspective of be, do, have. Be, do, have. If you want to be more excited, if you want to be more collaborative, if you want to be more creative, start choosing to be that way inside yourself, then do the things that support that way of being, and then you can have what you want. So how do you want to be? Number 3, who do you want to serve? Who are the people, the organizations, the groups, the individuals that you really want to put your effort into sharing your gifts so that you can serve and make the world a better place? You know, one of the things that I know is that when we get really clear on serving, for me anyway, that's where I really feel it opens up our heart, it opens up our mind, and it gives our life purpose. So who are you looking to serve? And then finally, why is it important to you? Why is it important to you? You know, many times we set goals just because we think that's what we need to do. People have told us this is what we need to set. We think we'll have success if we do it this way. But when we come up against it, and we will, particularly when our goals are bigger, and we're not really clear about the why, it's really easy for us to give up. But if we know why we're doing it, now we can gather into that strength. We can kind of rely on that to push us forward. So the goals that you have in your life, why are they important? Is it because you want to leave a legacy for your family? Is it because you want to make a big impact on the people that are going to be the recipients of your gifts in the world? Is it because you want to release the weight so that you're healthier, so that one day you can walk your daughter down the aisle? What are the reasons? What's your big why for leaning into the goals that you have? And when you have that in clarity, my friends, now it all starts to come into focus. You understand how you want to feel. You want to understand who you want to be to do that. You understand who you want to serve. And then finally, you understand why it's important. So there you have it, my friends. I hope that you found this useful. And I hope that you can lean into these questions so you get clear on your goals and have a real purpose behind what you're doing. And who knows? You might grow up one day to be like John Lennon and be happy. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. This has been Chris Natzke with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching, and we'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.